Okay, so in our previous chapter, we had created an OS policy using the resource type of package. This was used to install node in our virtual machine. So in this particular chapter, what we'll use is we'll use exec to delete that particular node that we had used in our previous chapter. So let's see how we can create a OS policy for this. So I've already created an OS policy and it looks something like this. So this is one OS policy that I have created to uninstall node from my particular virtual machine. So this is again of type enforcement. And here within the resources are exec block. An exec block consists of validate and enforce. And within this validate, it checks whether that our virtual machine has node installed or not. And if it already has node installed, then it goes to our enforce part. And here it deletes our node. And if it's not there, then it just exits gracefully. So this is how you have your OS policy using exec. So let's run this particular OS policy. Now, once again, to do that, let's go back to our console. So let's just check whether we have OS policy within our instance. So let's log into our SSH. So I've logged into my instance one. Let's just do a node version. And here you can see that there's node installed. So if I run the node, so it runs the interpreter as well. So let's exit out of this. Let's clear this. And let's use the OS policy that we've created. So again, to do that, let's go back to our compute engine. And what you need to do is you need to go to your VM manager. And within that, there is our OS configuration. So let's open this. So currently we have our instance which has no policy associated with it. So let's create our OS policy. So let's just give this assignment a name. And here we need to upload the OS policy that we had created. So this is basically this particular script that I had written previously. So let's upload this, browse, done. And here, because it's an OS policy, you need to also mention the zone. So this basically is in US Central 1. And let's start our rollout. So I'll not add any distribution or label. So let's click on start rollout and let's start the rollout. So one good thing about using your assignment is you get a lot of valuable information. So let's go to assignment. Let's go to the assignments that we've created. So if you open this assigned OS policy, if you click on view, so here it will give you all the important things that this particular script will do. So this is the validate script. So the validate script will check if this particular if statement returns a true or a false. And if it returns a true, then it will run this enforce script. That is, it will just remove node from your virtual machine. So this is basically created from this particular YAML file that we had uploaded, or it gives you enough information to figure out what the OS policy does. So let's close this and let's go back to our VM instance. So you can see that it has become policy compliant. So what this would mean is that our node has been deleted. So let's open this VM instance once. So here you can also check the history of this particular policy. If you open this history, you'll get a good log of what all has happened. Okay, so the first thing you can notice that initially our virtual machine was non-compliant because there was node installed in our particular machine. And because it was non-compliant, it went to the enforce part and it deleted node. And after that, it did a post-enforcement check. And after the post-enforcement check was done, the state of that virtual machine became compliant. So this is a good way in which you can check whether your OS policy ran well or not. So now let's go to our instance and check whether there is node present. So again, let's do a node v now. And you can see that there is no node in our virtual machine. So it has basically been deleted. So that's it for this lecture. So if you have any issues or if you have any doubts about OS policy, again, please get in touch with me. So that's it for this lecture. I will see you in the next.